Might want to get your earphones too. Can you all see my screen? Can you hear me? All right. Ba'u AmentiNefer. Greetings, greetings. Ankin Ma'at. Welcome to our second Per Rekh in Sesen, our house of knowledge through breath. This is month one's full moon gathering, Arutu in Ren. And I have on here April 1st, but it is April 2nd, isn't it? So this is really our sacred order, call to order, which I just did. We're going to have opening prayer. We're going to do the Wep Uat, libations, breath work. Then we're going to do, and the breath work is going to lead into meditation. We're going to do Hesi and Heka. Then we're going to check in with everybody. And then once everybody has checked in and we want to get to know each other and not make it so much about a presentation or that kind of thing. Then the teaching will start, and the teaching is about the movement of the Ren. And then we'll have Q&A and closing prayer. And just to let you know, we do have 3 tiers of education, or learning, I should say. The first tier is your textbook. The second tier is the initiation portal. And then the third tier is here at our sacred gathering. I will be asking, does anyone want to do the Wep Uat? I know you do it at home, or you do it, come on now. And if anyone wants to do libations, it doesn't always have to be me. I'm just letting you know. We're in this together, so we will share all of this together. Any volunteers? And I'm looking to the right because that's where y'all's faces are. I can see y'all over there, but I can't see you over here. No volunteers?
Yeah, I'll
Come
do
on.
the wet wind.
Huh?
I'll do the wet what
Okay.
if yeah. I still haven't done I haven't still gotten all the words down for the libations yet.
That's okay. Don't worry about it. You can do a regular libations. It's not so much about memorizing. You can read. You can just go for. I love when you go from the heart, but a lot of times because we're just learning meta nature, a lot of us are. Some are more fluent than others. I don't want to make that a sticking point. We're going to all be growing in that way together. All right, the call to order, what you heard was the lapis lazuli singing bowl. It is used in Kemetic tradition since antiquity for truth, clarity, and divine speech. The singing bowl tuned to the key of E flat establishes the vibrational field through which the Ren is addressed, carrying the resonance of clarity and sacred utterance into the temple space. The function, the tone of the bowl signals the transition from ordinary awareness into the resonance of the temple space. All conversation ceases. All attention gathers. The field is set. From this moment forward, every word spoken, every breath taken, and every silence held operates within sacred time. So, as we said before, receiving prayer. So, go into your position of dua. Iem hotep amen ra neteru ea. Iem hotep amen ra nesut neteru. Iem hotep amen ra neb waset. Iem hotep amen ra neb kaiu. Anich her ek o raketi. Neb has jet neb ankh. Weben her in me weben ek im pet. Ini in ek ma'at. Der in isfet. In un ma'a. What I just said is come in peace, Amun Ra, great God. Come in peace, Amun Ra, King of the gods. Come in peace, Amun Ra, Lord of Waset. Come in peace, Amun Ra, Lord of crowns. Hail to you, all Ra Horaketi, Lord of the Nine, Lord of life. Shine upon us as you course through the sky, that we may bring you Ma'at and cast out Isfit. We exist in truth. The Web Uat. And we're doing it in the different directions, so you can read it if you'd like, or whatever. So, Dion, I'll let you go.
Web to open, to split, what, way, road, path. The compound what is to attest from the attested from the Old Kingdom pyramid text as the name of one of the earliest Neteru, web wet, opener of the ways. Ritual function. The opening of the way clears inner obstructions, quiets the egos, and establishes the practitioner as a sacred vessel through which the divine current may pass. Each nature is acknowledged and mirrored with the declaration, Ankh, I am. A nook. I don't know why I said Ankh. A nook,
okay.
I am.
All right, so you're going to do it? The Web Uat? I'm going to start.
So I'm supposed to be by my altar though, right? So I got to kind of move.
Yeah, you can just stand up because it's hard
Okay.
for us to maneuver with all these cameras and stuff.
Hello.
And so we all should stand and do it together, but he will lead us. Amen.
Give myself a little bit more space. Hold on. Anaj harak, neat, anuk, neat. Anaj harak, duante, anuk, duante, dua, niche. It's kind of weird. I'm not east either. Hello. Anaj harak, As, Anuk, As, Anajrak, Amsit, Anuk, Amsit, Dwa, Neche, Anajrak, Circuit, Anuk, Circuit, Anajrak, Kebsine, Anuk, Kebsine, Dwa, Neche, Anajrak, Neptit, Anuk, Neptit, Anajrak, Happy, Anuk, Happy, Dwa, Neche, Anajrak, Nut, Anuk, Nut, Anajrak, Seb, Anuk, Seb, Dwa, Neche, Anajrak, Shoo, Anuk, Shoo, 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 Anajrak, Tefn, 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 Anuk, Tefn, 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 Anajrak, Paut Necharu, Anuk, Paut Necharu, Anajrak, Sefrek, Peta, Anuk, Sefrek, Peta, Dwa, Neche. Oh, Unk. You do Unk at the end of yours, right? Uh, uh, uh,
Dua, dua. So it's
right.
libations. I will just do the libations. I really like doing it from the heart. But when I do it from the heart right now, I still do it in English. I pour this libation in praise and adoration for the Sefek in Ptah, Pa'ut Neteru, the Most High, my higher self, Dua. I pour this libation in praise and adoration of those that have come before me, those that have stood tall, those have taken the brunt of us being here today, those that have shared their lives, have given their lives, those that surround us daily that love us, those that have come to us to be released, to move on. We have to learn how to embrace that and to help our ancestors do what it needs to be done to allow them to be free. Dua. I pour praise and adoration. I give praise and adoration to my elders. My elders, and you can list your elders. I almost don't have any. Marie, I'm the old one now. Marie, Francine. I pour this libation in praise and adoration of myself and my contemporaries. Akhu Gray, Queen Afua, Name yours.
Eugenia Long, Ernestine Muhammad, Gladys Long, Esther Jones,
Dua, Dua,
Joelle.
Dua. We're going to do our breath work now. If you're not on the floor, you want your feet flat on the floor if you're in the chair. Hands resting on your thighs or in the Aset Taifu, which is the Aset prayer, which is the middle finger and the thumb touching. And you can place that, relax it on your thigh, but you want your back straight and your head slightly lifted, chin lifted just a little bit to keep that spine straight. This breath is the Sesen Ren, the breath that stabilizes the name. We're going to inhale through both nostrils for the count of 4. We're going to allow the breath to rise gently into the upper chest and throat. The inhale is natural and easeful. Receive the breath with openness and ease. We're going to pause for a count of 2. And I'm going to tell you now, when you pause, you will feel it in the back of the throat. If not at the beginning, you will, as we're going to spend about 5 minutes during this breath. In your homework, I got to find my timer. In your homework, it suggests 5 to 7 minutes as well. We're going to pause, resting awareness in the throat and collarbone region. Allow the breath to settle with ease and stillness. Allow awareness to gather at the vibrational center where the Ren is formed. Exhale through the mouth for a count of 6, allowing a soft internal vibration to pass gently through the throat without sound. The exhale is slightly longer than the inhale, supporting the parasympathetic activation. So again, when you're exhaling, it says exhale through the mouth, but we're not going to say anything. We're just going to let it go. Okay? Everybody got that?
Yeah.
Huh? Yeah? Okay.
To you.
Can you all hear the music?
Yes.
Okay. All right, let us begin. Inhale. 1, 2, 3, 4. Pause. 2. Exhale. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Continue. You can visualize as you inhale the air circulating through the back of your throat and out through the lips. Begin to breathe normally, keeping your eyes closed, just being present, letting go of today's stress, this week's stress. Any challenges or disappointments. It's in the past. We're going to be present in this moment. Taking a moment to see where there's tension in the body and letting go. Totally relaxing. Now let's focus on our Ren. Saying it silently. Noticing how it makes you feel. Remembering its memory, remembering its meaning. And what is your name showing you? Your Ren has a specific, unique meaning just for you. How do you see yourself embodying your Ren? Slowly wiggle your toes, your fingers as we make it back. Now it's time for our Hesi and Heka. Our Hesi tonight is Abi Min Ma'a. And I'm going to ask our musician. We got a musician among us to give us a little beat. I can't, you're on mute.
I don't have a guitar anymore. That's what I was trying to tell you.
What?
I
You don't
can
have,
play
but
it.
you,
Yeah,
well,
I
you
can
still
play it, but
have a beat. You can beat on your desk or your table or clap. Uh,
uh okay,
Abi men ema. 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 All right. I like to kind of close my eyes because I never consider myself musical or an artist. What do you call a vocalist? But I do what I do, and we should all do it because, as I've learned, the more you do it, you will create your own rhythm, and that's okay, and that's what it's supposed to be about. Wait just a second. We have um, let me get copy link. Give me a second. Oh, that's not what I was looking for, but give me just a second here. Oh, what am I doing? Give me a second. Try not to read that. Okay. All right. Sorry about that. Now we have the Heka, the word of power, Amen. Who wants to do that? The Heka.
do the heck.
Okay.
Amen. 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 Amen.
All
Actually, I noticed doing a lot of like doing it in the morning. Man, when you get that shower, you kind of sound like you can hold a tune a little bit.
That's right. And we have to learn to do it from the throat, right? So as we continue to do it, we will evolve to something completely different than what we have today. So thank you for that. All right, how is everyone? This is our community check in. I'm gonna do some announcements, and then we're gonna go 2 to 3 minutes each for some check in. If you have not started your work, I really want to hear from you. We're gonna share our names, where we're from, and if you've started the work, answer these questions. If you haven't, that's okay. That's not a bad thing. This is self-paced. You do it at your own pace. Um, Share what you've thought about the process so far, um, why you chose coming to do this initiation or things of that nature. Okay? So, announcements. Soul fragmentation assessment calculation has been corrected. I talked about this in a live. I updated the fragmentation report, and I will be doing the detailed naming scroll as well. Just give me a little time because I have to go back. And I talked about this before. Abut Abut Nesbet has joined us, and she was one of the ones, and I want to thank her. Sometimes we may not know what is actually wrong to call it by name, but we may say something, is this right? We have questions. Those are important because when I do have time to kind of settle down and go back, then I can figure out why it seems that way. Okay, so I want to thank her for pointing that out. We're all here to work together. The paperback textbook is $44.99 and the journal is $32.94, available on Amazon. Now those are, and we talked about it before, those are the paperbacks. If you're like me, I have to have something in my hand to read, but I do use Kindle, so I understand. So their PDFs are also available on PayHip. I will start sabbatical the end of May. My granddaughter is graduating high school, and then, as you all know, I take a venture into Michigan. And so I've got to work out what we might be doing for the Per Rekh in Sesen's while I'm in sabbatical. We'll figure out something. I'm also noticing kind of where we are. And again, we're creating our own rhythm. This isn't a complaint or anything. So I probably will slow down with some of the teachings because I don't want to get too far ahead, if that makes sense to you. Other great announcement, I have completed my master's course in metaphysics, and I am awaiting the final grade. Yay! That's a long time coming, but I finally got that thesis done, and we're on the move. And next, I will be working on my dissertation to get my doctorate. So those are kind of my announcements. What I would ask is for, again, each of you, I'm going to have to step out for a minute, but I want you all to continue regardless. Your name, where you're from, and if you have started your work, answer the questions that are here on the screen. If you have not, that's okay. Just share why this particular initiation appealed to you, what you feel about it, the process so far. Okay? So you got it? Everybody got it?
You.
Okay, who wants to go first? Satra, you want to go first?
I'll go first since I've been a little quiet this evening. Peace, everybody. My name is Kalila. My ancestors named me Satra Ayar Sekmet, and I am from Michigan. I am a graduate of Sacred Goddess 2023. And I was called to be a student of Bamess New Temple because I'm still seeking alignment with truth. And so, yeah, I wanted to continue to deepen my studies in Neteru and my yachts. And that's why I'm here. I have not started. I plan to hopefully within the next couple of weeks when I'm able to get a little bit more balance with things. So I am very excited to be here.
I guess I'll go. Greetings, Tepu. I am a Buddhist Ankh or Amani, Priestess Amani. I missed the first session, but glad to be here. I am I'm coming along with my Sati here. We came through a Sacred Woman together and Sacred Goddess Temple. So I was one of the facilitators, or have been one of the facilitators for online with Dr. Akhu and some other beautiful souls. Uh, I've been doing a lot. What was the questions? I have not started any of the, thank you, give thanks. Any of the studies currently. I'm in the process of finishing my, getting a master's degree in school library media sciences. I graduate next month. So I'm at the tail end of that program. So I'm excited about that too. I'm an educator by trade, been in teaching special education for about 22 years, and I'm now a school librarian. So, so once I am done with that, I will be diving in full speed ahead. Um, I'm really looking forward to um, moving forward in a different kind of a way. Although I have been initiated into Kemetic priesthood as a priestess, uh, I'm at a point where, and I've known Sati for quite a while, and we've been talking. But I'm at a place where I want to just delve into some other things, and in a different kind of a way. So that's why I'm here, and to just for us to share information, to share what I know. We all come with a wealth of knowingness, and to keep just moving in our ascensions and our elevations, and bring some joy because there's so much cray cray going on. Um, so yeah, I'm happy to be here. I think that I hit everything. I think so. All right. Okay.
Did you say you were a priestess? She actually was a priestess way before me, because I was running. But I'm so glad that she's here, and I'm so honored that she's here, not just as a friend, but as a mutual, because we know so many times our mutuals kind of stay to themselves or do their own thing. And sometimes they support, sometimes they don't. But I am so happy she is taking this journey with us.
Doing the tear, and my heart is joy filled as well because it can sometimes become a lonely road when you recognize that there's uh, some lights within yourself that may not be where other lights are. So I am definitely, yeah. So uh, I'm honored that you have stepped forward in this way because this is big, y'all. I don't know if y'all know this. It's big. So I'm honored that you are receiving the downloads, that you have the time and the ability to bring us together so that we can continue this journey that is needed. So, and do a received.
Greetings. I'm Anki Ma'awajet, and as you see, I'm not home. I'm away at a conference, but just happy to be able to connect. I have roommates, so I can't connect from my room, and the convention center blocked the Wi-Fi. But anyway, I'm here, and I live in Tampa. And no, I have not started. I started reading the book, but I haven't done the orientation, the online, due to some other deadlines going on this month, but free and clear after Sunday to really be able to focus and complete all of the this month's. So just happy to be here and happy to see, and just happy.
Thank you, Dua. And what she didn't share is Anki did her first sacred goddess temple or sacred woman training with me some years ago.
Mhm.
So welcome, welcome.
Yes, 2021, I think it was. Yeah,
Wow, wow.
it's gone by. It started mastery and um, pillar one and pillar two. as well. So
Yeah, I
yes.
need to share with you all when I first started getting the beginnings of this system. Um, Anki as well as Aboot were some of my first students. Uh, and they were patient, and I was like, I'm getting these downloads, and they told me to just start. So I'm a lot further now than I did back then because I was writing it week by week. And I was like, why are you doing this? Because I am being taught about perfectionism. I have a problem with that. So I had to get it out and not wait until it was done and exactly the way I wanted it. So I thank them for their patience and their commitment and consistency. So welcome.
Tepu. I'm in Ray Orketi, from Texas. This would be my very initiation. Uh, I don't know. Yeah. The reason why is I have this. People say I'm like a gyptomaniac or comedic maniac. So, like, I don't know. It definitely feels like this is the direction I'm supposed to be going. So, here I am. Yeah, thank y'all for having me. Embrace me. Thank you.
Oh, definitely glad to have you because I was told not to market this system, that the resonance of the system would pull the people that needed to be here. And as you all know, I've always taught women and have been a part of that. So opening this up, the eagerness, the knowledge that he already has because he reads a lot. Amen is another reflection of the resonance of this new system. So I am so excited and I get overwhelmed when, y'all know me. So when things happen like that, because it wasn't by chance. So I am glad he's here and I know that more of that male energy will come. He is the first, and it is just an honor to have his energy here.
Your mic is on.
Sorry. Okay, we're not going to get into the teachings of this. We're going to go over some foundational terms, and then we're going to get into a little bit more, or the third level of some Ren learning. So the language and architecture of this work. So we're going to go through why use Sesen for breath, why Sesen breathes differently, what coherence is, the Sanj and the Jid, Kemetic sacred geometry, our blueprint. And when I say our blueprint, it is the blueprint for Ba Mesnu Temple, the Ankh Jed. We're going to talk about that because I'm even guilty of it, calling it the Ankh Caduceus. Well, the Ankh Caduceus is Greek. So we're going to look at what that is. Now, while I go through this, I want you all to remember it's not that we're trying to be purist, but we're going to start with the right foundation and grow from there. The spiral flow, the Sefek in Ptah, we talk about it in the Wep Uat. So what is that? We discussed a little bit the first time, but I'll go through it. And the AIO circuitry. And again, a lot of this is not going to be training during this particular initiation. It's the next level, but you do need to be introduced to it. Why we use Sesen for breath. There are two meanings, one word. Sesen is the sacred lotus, the plant that roots in the dark, waters of Nu, and rises toward light through rhythm and sacred timing. It moves with ease. It unfolds according to its own design. Sesen is also breath, the living current through which memory, vitality, and divine order move within the human being. Sesen and Jau. Many people, when you say breath, this is the word they'll go through, is the Cha'u. The Cha'u, I can't say it right. It's the attested Kemetic word for breath, as physical air moving through the body. Sesen names what that breath does within the soul system. It organizes, stabilizes, and restores. In Ba Mesnu temples, Sesen is used because it holds both dimensions at once, the physical current and the sacred function it carries, keeping the practitioner oriented toward purpose with every cycle of practice. And I wanted to share this because what I have found is that a lot of our Kemetic communities are very strict on particular words that are used. So I don't want you out there in the world can't defend what you call breath or Sesen. So this is why I'm sharing this. It's attested, but we have to look beyond the surface. And I always say our community sometimes we bring our old programming to the new system. And we always say the other folks, our cousins, have not interpreted the Pert Imperu or the Meta in a way that represents the Kemites, right? But at the same time, who are the scholars that we use to understand the language? They're our cousins, not us. So it's like, which one is it? So we have to begin to be consistent. And I think there is something to be said about the desire to have that interpretation. But I believe, and this is a personal thing, that you have to do the inner work to be Akh, a living Akh, to get that transmission so that you can interpret it the way that it should be. That's just me. That's just me. We're not there yet. I'm not saying it's everybody, and it's never everybody. We have great scholars. We have great people. And what I don't want to do is what I've had some conversations with people, and they bash some of our other scholars. I don't bash anybody because we're all learning. None of us are direct descendants of Kemet. And this is such a language. Everybody is learning and growing together. And when it's time, the next level will come, the next level will come, the next level will come. So now you've been given the information you need so that you understand why I use Sesen as breath. Why Sesen breaths or differently, or why Sesen breathes differently. Coherence over activation. There are so many different breathwork classes. And any time that our cousins get a hold of something, it becomes an exercise. It becomes brute force versus spiritual work. So some practices like high activation breath work, and when I talk about this, I'm not condemning the breath work. I'm saying it's different breath work. Here we're working with the soul. The high activation breath work is, as well, I'll just go on and read it. Practices such as Wim Hof, holotrophic breath work, and breath of fire work by deliberately inducing hyperventilation. This drops carbon dioxide rapidly, raises blood pH, and floods the system with sympathetic nervous system activation. It puts us in the fight or flight state. And I'm going to talk about that. We live in America or anywhere in the world, live in a heightened fight or flight state just by the nature of our history and who we are. So our heart rate spikes, epinephrine rises, and the brain enters an altered state through chemical stress. The system is forced open through intensity, and what surfaces does so ahead of the soul's own readiness. And what you'll learn as we get into this and we talk about higher consciousness and we talk about higher vibrations, but all of it we'll talk about, and I guess you'll hear it mostly in Kundalini arenas, is that when we obtain that, it's very close to psychosis. If you haven't prepped your body, haven't prepped your mind for what is to come, it could turn into psychosis. And we are in Ma'at, and we cause no harm. And that is not to say the other breath work doesn't help with trauma and healing, and it is good for those places. Sesen Ren, coherence as the path. Sesen Ren works through an extended exhale, activating the vagus nerve and the parasympathetic nervous system. The state of integration and restoration. Carbon dioxide remains stable. Blood pH remains balanced. We heard that before. The soul's archive opens in proportion and at the rhythm the architecture requires. This practice deepens across every court of initiation, growing more precise as the initiate advances. What deepens is coherence, honoring what the soul is designed to release when conditions are lawfully prepared. The Shanjit and the Jed. The sacred tree and the pillar of Asar. And I'm talking about this because we talked about the Ankh Caduceus. As you know, I carry one as my Ankh. And anyway, start the revelation. Now I know why I have this. Now I know why this was created the way that it was created. The Assyrian myth. Set trapped Asar in a sealed coffin and cast it into the Nile. The coffin washed ashore at Byblos, where a sacred tree grew around it, enclosing Asar within its trunk. The acacia, called Sanj in Meta-Nature, was sacred to Aset. The goddess Shanatet, the acacia goddess, participated in the Assyrian resurrection rites. Aset and Nebuhet together were called the two Santi goddesses, the two acacia goddesses, and they are the twin serpents that wind around the sacred tree. The king of Byblos cut the tree down and made it a pillar in his palace. Aset traveled to Byblos, recovered the body of Asar from within the pillar, and returned it to Kemet. The origin of the Ankh Jed, the tree that held Asar, became the Jed, the sacred pillar representing the backbone of Asar, the spinal axis, and the vertical channel through which Sekhem flows. The two Santi goddesses winding around the tree are the twin serpents that ascended the Jed in the Ankh Jed, the bioelectrical blueprint of the human body. Wajet crowns the structure at the pinnacle. The rising of the Jed, performed ritually in the Heb-Sed festival and depicted at Abydos and Dendera, symbolizes the restoration of the central axis of power. The sacred tree, the serpents, and the pillar are one continuous teaching, the origin of the living current that governs the soul. So we will start calling it Ankh Jed instead of Ankh Caduceus. Y'all all right with that? Oh, I missed one. Now, remembering the foundation, Kemetic sacred geometry. You know, it didn't call sacred geometry, actually, the Greeks coined that, sacred geometry. It's even more of a new age So I would say the West, the structural language of creation. Remembering the foundation, sacred geometry originates in Kemet. The proportions, ratios, and structural principles that govern temple architecture, pyramid design, and the human body were developed, applied, and preserved by the ancient Kemetic master builders, thousands of years before they attributed to Greek, Roman, or European traditions. Ba Mesnu Temple builds on this Kemetic foundation, honoring the source by returning to it. We are remembering our ancient architecture, reclaiming the sacred science that was carried forward through stone, proportion, and breath. What follows are 5 of the foundational geometric types attested in Kemetic sacred science and documented through the work of R.A. Schwaller D. Lipix. Can't say his name, but that is a European, but he created the Temple of Man. There are more, and there will be dressed as the initiatory work deepens. So the 5 attested forms, we want to start. There was no meta-nature name for it, at least I haven't found it yet, of the twin circles, which we have been known as the Vesica Pisces. We will be talking about the lens of that Vesica Pisces that contains the field of the Sefek in Ptah. We have the Neb proportion, the ratio of 1.618, encoded in the Great Pyramid. The Kemetic summation series predates Fibonacci by 3,700 years. He is a Greek, was it Greek or Latin? I can't remember now. I have to look that up again. The double square, a generative matrix for temple proportions derived from the golden ratio function and foundational to the Temple of Man. The Phi spiral, the spiral of proportional expansion found in the Gaza Plateau layout and the rhythmic unfolding of sacred architecture. The anthropocosmic proportion, the human body as the template for sacred architecture. The Temple of Lexar mirrors the proportions of the human form. So our blueprint, the cosmology as the map of existence. I can't talk now. I'm going to get some water. Architecture as living structure. Cosmology is the study of how reality is organized. In Ba Mesnu Temple, cosmology functions as the blueprint of the universe and of the soul. It describes how reality is arranged and how participation within that reality occurs. It functions as living architecture, providing the structural field in which all teachings operate. The pattern that persists. Once order is established, it endures. When something breaks apart, the pattern that held it together persists beyond the breaking. The original design remains available for reassembly. Restoration is possible because the blueprint endures through all change. The Ankh Jed, the original bioelectric blueprint. And I just want to say here, I was saying that I had this first, and I did not know what it was going to stand for. But when you just follow instructions and wait, when it's time, it will come together. I'm telling you, I'm over here getting my mind blown every day. And sometimes I just have to stop. Anyway, the original bioelectric blueprint, the living current. The Ankh is a precise schematic representing the flow of bioelectric current through a living system. The loop, or the shin, is the closed electromagnetic field at the crown, up here. Um, I'm sorry, stuff is going on here, so I'm like, where'd that come from? Anyway, I don't know what that is. Okay. Um, the crossbar distributes current laterally through the major nerve plexus. The vertical staff is the spinal column, the primary biological conductor of bioelectric signals, ionic currents, and electromagnetic fields through the central nervous system. The two serpents represent the sympathetic and the parasympathetic pathways of the autonomic nervous system. At each crossing, electromagnetic field density increases, generating the bioelectric spark that animates the living system. The 9 gates. The 9 divisions of the spirit are bioelectric nodes within this living current. Each division functions as a gate through which consciousness, memory, vitality, and identity organize themselves within the human being. They operate through living current, through charge, rhythm, and signal. From Ren at the throat, and this is a little touchy, but you'll learn. The Ren comes through the throat with the vibration of your name. To the Kabet at the base, the 9 gates form an integrated system through which the soul remembers itself in form. When alignment is restored, memory, vitality, and clarity return naturally. So essentially, as you see, each one of the 9 gates or portals or rutu, or at the crossing, and it is at that crossing of the serpents that bioelectric charge happens. And we're going to go through and we're going to learn more about this as we go through here, but the majority of the teaching will be in the next level of initiation, when we'll be putting it all together. The spiral flow, it's time, memory, and divine movement. Time in this system moves through 2 comedic principles held together. The Nahe is cyclical time, the rhythm of renewal and return. The Jet is enduring time, the stable ground beneath all change. Initiation unfolds through Nahe within the holding field of Jet. Each cycle returns to the same ground at greater depth. Memory. Memory is the persistence of pattern. As the spiral deepens with each cycle, what was inaccessible in one pass becomes available in the next. The soul's archive responds to structural readiness. The spiral flow restores your relationship to memory by creating the conditions in which the archive opens lawfully at the rhythm your architecture requires. Then we have divine movement. The path of the soul moves in a spiral, following the sacred geometry of its own unfolding. Progress is measured by depth and alignment. Each turn of the spiral brings you closer to the center of your original design. Divine movement honors the rhythm of the cosmos rather than the urgency of the individual. Where did somebody hear that? We're not in a race. We're not in a race. You move with the current that already knows the way. We just have to get out of the way and let our soul take heed. Safek Impata. It is the foundational stabilization matrix, a measured geometric system. The Safek Impata is organized through axial stabilization, polar definition, and proportional distribution. Ma'at holds the fixed central origin from which all measurements are taken. A vertical axis extends, I was like, I don't want to create another, this right here. Extends from Ptah at the upper pole through Ma'at to Asar at the lower pole, establishing the primary structural continuity. The containment boundary is the twin circle field. It's the lens, establishing the primary, The containment boundary is the twin circle field, the sacred geometric form created by the intersection of two circles. The spheres are arranged bilaterally along this boundary, connected to the center by radial lines extending from Ma'at to each faculty. Spiral sequency expands outward while maintaining reference to the center. The Neteru as living faculties. The Sefek in Ptah encompasses 14 spheres. Ptah governs sphere 0 as the divine threshold and 0 point ignition. Spheres 1 through 12 bear the names of the Neteru and govern the 12 active sphere months of the initiatory year. We also hear 12, where do we hear 12 disciples or something like that? Anyway, just throwing something out there. Asar governs sphere 13 as the 5 epigonomal days of reconstitution. Each netter is an internal divine faculty, a function of consciousness and a capacity of the soul awaiting recognition through the initiatory process. Specific training in the full geometry of Sefek and Ptah is given in the inner court. That is the next level. But I'm just introducing it so you can get used to it and be able to put it all together. The AIO circuitry, architecture, input, and output. A living circuit system. AIO stands for architecture, input, and output. In systems theory and electrical engineering, these three terms define every functional circuit. The human being operates as precisely such as a circuit. In the human system, architecture is expressed as anatomy. Input is expressed as perception, what is received through breath, sensation, and experience. Output is expressed as expression, what the soul discharges and transmits into the field. The Ankh as the circuit map. The Ankh encodes the circuitry in sacred geometry. The vertical staff, the Jed, is the spinal column, the primary biological conductor of bioelectric signals and ionic circuits. The crossbar distributes current laterally through the major nerve plexus. The Shin is the closed electromagnetic field at the crown. We talked about this earlier. The two serpents represent the sympathetic and parasympathetic pathways. At each crossing, electromagnetic field density increases, generating the bioelectric spark that animates the living system. Breath governs the coherence of the entire circuit. And this picture actually shows that in one way. So, the Ren encoding. I just thought I would add something here to expand our knowing of Ren. For many, a lot of the Ren information is in the textbook. The textbook is Per Ankh in Sesen Ba. You will have to purchase that either through the PayHip, which is the PDF form or the electronic form, and also if you want hard copy, it's on Amazon. The Ren encoding, where the soul is tethered to the body. What the Ren encodes. The Ren is encoded at the throat, brainstem, and medulla oblongata. The precise location where the brainstem meets the spinal cord. It holds vibrational identity, lineage orientation, mission, soul memory, and initiatory path in wave form. The Ren functions as the reference signal for the entire soul-body architecture. When the reference is stable, the system produces clear signal. When the reference is distorted, the system produces noise and eventually fails. Every other division of the soul organizes around this stable reference. The Ab weighs the truth accurately. The Ba expresses with clarity. The Ka directs vitality with precision. The Sahu stores memory with continuity. The tether that holds. The Ren is the encoded tether between the soul and the body. It can be weakened through trauma, misalignment, and fragmentation. It can be distorted by confusion between surface identity and essential identity. It can be obscured when personality is mistaken for essence. Through all of this, the encoding itself persists. The tether holds. It holds through every distribution, every loss, every season of confusion. It severs only at death. The Kemites inscribed the Ren in cartouches, spoke it into sacred rites, and preserved it on monuments because the encoding had to endure for the soul to remain gathered. The deliberate erasure of the Ren was the ultimate punishment, the dissolution of identity itself. And this, if you haven't, or if you've heard like Dolores Cannon or some other folks out there for New Age kind of understanding of that tether, this is how, when you astral travel, as an example, which is a New Age term, or when your Ba travels, is the more appropriate term, it knows how to return back. And it's going through the encoding of the Ren. The silver tether on teaching across sacred traditions. The sacred teaching, the pyramid texts declare, your name lives, your Ba lives, your power endures. The Pert Im Heru preserves the Ren because identity must persist through passage. The deceased who knows their Ren cannot be misled, bound, or dissolved. Loss of the Ren results in dissolution. Retention of the Ren preserves identity across change. The Ren holds the blueprint for reconstitution. When a Sar is dismembered by Set, the parts are scattered, but the pattern encoded in the Ren remains, and a Set gathers what was scattered according to the original design. The encoding precedes and outlasts every other tradition that describes the same principle. Some of the witnesses in the Bible, Ecclesiastics 12:6, remember him before the silver cord is severed. Jewish commentators identify the silver cord as the spinal marrow descending from the brain, the bond between soul and body that severs only at death. Dolores Cannon, through thousands of hypnotic regression sessions, subjects describe the silver cord as a real energetic lifeline tethering spirit to body. At death, the energy of the passage severs the cord permanently. During sleep and astral travel, the cord holds. Desta Zeckerman, she authored a book called Sacred Anatomy. It maps 7 systems of the subtle energy extending from the physical body with consciousness encoded as anatomical structure. The soul's history is held within an intelligent energy architecture that persists as long as the body lives. So I wonder where they got that from. It is an encoding. It's almost like your own MAC address. Your own MAC address. So here's where we have questions. Sacred inquiry. All are welcome to inquire. Precious ones, the field is open. And everybody turned off their camera. They had to run and go to the ladies' room. Go ahead.
What you were just explaining just sounds like binary. And then like that, you know how people say it's like I won't say how people say. Anyway,
it's okay. You can say that. There's no restrictions there.
While traveling, right? That whole sensation of that wormhole is probably that cord. Even when you dream, you kind of see it like that. Like when you dream, it's always like, well, when I dream, it's like 2 different ways. I'll see it like that, first person, or I can see the whole thing. It's like I'm watching a movie or over it. It's kind of weird. But yeah, most definitely a lot of what was explaining was just open and closed circuit. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yep, it is. Now you kind of see why I was saying let's just be patient because we're going somewhere here. We're going somewhere. You can't dump all this at one time. We have to take bite sizes. Any other questions? Comments? Nothing? A boot. You look like you wanted to say something earlier. And
What I will say is, as you were going through the different slides and so forth, what came to me, because I was making similar to Amen Ra Harukuti, make connections, and I'm just sitting here thinking, processing really some things that I've been working on, things from the past, even from the beginning when you were talking about the Ren and the connection to the lotus, you know. Um, I use it when I think about my priestess name, AmentiNefer Atum the Atum Re piece of it. And I was just really thinking about how, you know, I think in the slide it says it goes down and to the darkness and the murks, and it settles itself, but then it reemerges uplifted and light and enlightened, really, to take in what it needs to take in and to also give out. So that was part of some things that were passing through my mind. And then when you were doing the breakdown of the Ankh, Ankh, not Ankh caduceus anymore, but no, I appreciate it.
Jed.
Yeah, Ankh Jed. Okay. And so as you were as I was looking at the diagrams, the graphics are beautiful too. And because I'm a visual person, so I'm able to kind of make connections as I'm seeing those things. And so I was just having thoughts about when we're talking about that energy of the serpentine energy, kundalini energy, the sakem, all of that, how it relates to the jed and to the stability of everything. It's an energetic impulse. Anyway, just thoughts that were flowing through my brain, and making some connections. Because, like I said, I'm happy to be back because it's been a minute.
Yep,
um,
yep.
yeah. So those were some of the things I was kind of, as you were reading, I was kind of having thoughts and looking at your graphics. It was kind of sending me some downloads. Yeah, as you would say.
There
Yeah.
you go. There you go.
Mm-hmm.
And I it's all the different classes I went through, and I've had some great teachers, and they have been open and willing to share. Um, but I always had something nagging at me, and it was like we always say stuff is in us, in us. But what does that look like? What does that mean? It's like because we'll talk about the deities as faculties. I think pretty much everybody does that. The deities are within us, or parts, aspects of us. But it never really connected with me of how does that work?
I was just
You know,
about to say, what is the action to it? So we're saying these things, but how do we, in this physical body, and then even beyond, make the connections to make it be um, applicable? I guess is a word.
mm-hmm.
How we use it. Bottom
Right.
line, I like really, really, how is it going to come forward? So, because we can have as much studies and learning and understandings and talk, but how is it being implemented into our daily lives? And I'm like you, that's always been a big thing for me, because we can study and study, but how is it being applied? And even if we're thinking back to how those who came before us in ancient times, how they applied it. We're in new changeable times. So how is that going to be applied now in a way that is meaningful? Yeah.
Yeah. Because I've always, even some of the great ones that I've learned from the master teachers, there always seem to be like a part missing, like they know a secret, but the secret is theirs. And I think that's twofold, because New Age and other things, because a lot of times we think so much in a demon mindset that we think if we share, then somebody will know and then something bad will happen. I don't think that way. I do understand protection and the need to not be too willy-nilly, but at the same time, how will people learn? How will people understand what's happening? And in that, that's why part of the temple is, and a lot of things are within our own portal, is because I know those people are ready to receive. So, in doing that, I want to share what I've learned and what I do and what I know, because it's like, I don't want to say people ask for permission, but sometimes we need permission to go to that next step. In our head, it was like, well, if I do that, that might be crazy. So I'm not going to do that and I'm not going to say that. But I'm hoping that our environment gives you that opportunity to explore you and to become who you are to be. And when we're talking about the Ren, and something came to mind when you were talking about it, Aamut, and that is you had a name or had created a name, and then now you have a new name. And it was like, a lot of people have a lot of different names over the years. And what I'm learning is, because we were originally stripped of our names, we're almost being taken back step by step. But as we evolve and as we meet that challenge, because when we have our name, the name isn't necessarily where we are at the moment, it's where we're to grow, how we're to move forward. And once we've achieved that, then we have the next level, and that will require a different vibration, which will in turn be a different Ren. So that is just coming, like you were talking about, even from the lotus perspective. You're down in the, and as you come up and you rise, then you are new. So it's cyclical. So I get that as well. Does anybody else have any questions or comments? I know Amen is going gangbusters in his homework. I keep telling him to slow down, make sure he ingests it. So
Yeah. I do have one other thing
sure.
that I was been saying, we were talking about when you were talking about just within the astral realm. So that is kind of that has been a lot, has been for me recently, lately, I should say, where I've kind of been delving into and actually really becoming kind of comfortable with it, because like you say, you got to know how to, if you're there, be mindful, and then be able to within this physical body come back, and also protect yourself. So I'm really looking forward to that aspect when I get to that point, because I have some other studies that delve into that.
Mm-hmm.
So I when you were speaking on it, I was like, this is probably why I have not pushed forward sooner, because I always felt like, okay, there's something else I need before I start just willy-nilly, for lack of a better word.
Mm-hmm.
So give thanks for that piece of information for that coming up. So I'm looking forward to that as well.
Yeah, because when we talk about the Ba traveling, which is what New Age calls astral travel,
Right.
but when the Ba travels, that, for lack of a better word, that encoding or that MAC address is always there. You don't have to worry about someone, somebody coming in, taking over your body. Number one, they have to be invited. It's that part. We got to stop dealing in fear, because we bring that same Christian background, woo woo, something gonna happen to you. You got to welcome it in. Fear welcomes it in. All of that stuff welcomes that stuff in. If you don't, see, I don't think that way. I'm like, nothing can touch me because I am the I am. And if I am the I am, I don't need to worry about stuff because I've got my own. It's like I'm tending to my business, not worried about somebody else's business. I am moving forward as the I am. I have no fear. When I first started understand what I called astro travel, I was doing it every night, all the time. And then I shared it with a person that I thought I could share it with, and they brought in fear because they knew about it, they like to talk about it, but it's like, I got that gift, you don't have that gift. So that's why you have to watch how much you share because there's jealousy out there. My thing is, your gift is not my gift. I'm going to be excited about your gift, and maybe we have the same one, maybe we don't. But we need our own gifts and not covet somebody else's gift. But when you're doing that, it's like, great. So if you're doing that and this one over here doing that, what we going to do? It's going to be something fantastic. That's the way I think. So I always am discouraged by how much energy we give negativity. I'm not saying duality, they're there. But if I'm manifesting what I need in my life, why would I manifest fear? Why would I manifest a demon? Why? That's crazy. But we do it as soon as we say, well, the devil is after me. No, you after you. You after you. Your decisions put you in that position. So that's my thing.
Yeah. And I'll say it's never not a fear thing for me,
Oh,
but I
no.
always, yeah. So I know that I've always, as I've been delving into it, I'm like, okay, there's something else though, and as you're talking, I was like, here we go. Right on time, So yay, let's get into it. I'm ready.
We getting into it.
Yeah.
Start right.
How would one know if they are truly progressing or connecting with the temple's work?
How do you know? You would have to say that. The first thing is that when you say connecting to the, help me out. When you say, how do you know if you're connecting to the temple's work? What do you mean?
To the work that you have, that we're doing, that we're learning, that we are studying, because we want to embody what we are studying. Well, at least that's my goal, right? I don't want to just read and, I want to be applying it going forward and embodying what it is I'm learning. So I guess I'm answering my own question as I'm speaking it, but I don't know. I guess at the time, my mind may have been thinking something else in terms of, what does progress look like, right? And it's becoming, it's embodying, it's, well, you don't even need to answer it now because I have a better perspective as I'm talking now.
See,
So.
a lot of times we answer our own questions, and that's why I say I'm a guide because you already know the answer.
Yeah. Yep.
You just
Saying it out loud.
yeah, you need to say it out loud. You need to be able to relax enough because one of your questions is, how do you know? Because this is initiation, it will make you look in the mirror. Those days that you're like, I don't know if I want to do this or not. I don't think I'm ready for this. That's part of initiation. That means something is making you look at a part of you that you don't want to see. When you're ready to run, when you're saying it's too hard or this is going to take too much time, you need to keep going because that's part of initiation. And that's what I was saying before, myself included. A lot of our scholars or a lot of our teachers, we love to just dump our knowledge. And so if you show up and I'm dumping knowledge, you get a certificate. You have not really initiated until it's uncomfortable. When it's uncomfortable and you keep going, you're growing. You're growing. That's how you know when you have those days that you don't want to do it and you do it anyway, you're beginning to embody it. You are growing, whatever that rate is. If you get to a point you say, well, I don't know if I'm ready for month 2 work, I think I need to go back. That's initiation. That's accountability. I'm taking accountability for me and my soul. So Ba is all about the soul's journey. So this is you getting in touch with your higher self, with you, with why you're here.
Give thanks.
Answered your own question. I
Give
love
thanks.
it. I love it when that happens. It was like, what you really trying to ask? And then by the time you ask it, you answered it. So that's a beautiful thing. And I am so grateful for you all's attendance. I am so grateful for you all's journey. I'm excited for your journey. And I just can't put it into words. But as you begin to read the material and as you begin to evolve, you'll have more questions. You'll have, because like I said, I took you way up here when the textbook kind of puts the groundwork. I don't know, I don't know if you experienced that because you've read the book, well, at least read part of it, and you're doing some of the work. What would you say? Is this kind of a trajectory that you would like to see in your education process?
Oh, most definitely. Most definitely. That's part of it. Like, so this is what I wanted to ask. What was, and not to change the subject, but to kind of give me a reference point to, like, what was Sacred Ladies initiation like for y'all? And what was some of the stuff that y'all accomplished and goals reached as far as that in contrast?
I'll let them answer.
All right. So what I can say for that is that for me at least it came during a time when I was just ready to grow and looking for some awareness and understanding of myself, you know. So when I came through Sacred Woman and then later became one of the facilitators for Sacred Goddess Temple, we provide like a stepping stone for healing, for looking at yourself, for looking at different aspects and dynamics within who you are from a woman's perspective, because we're women, So we went through different houses, different temples of information, starting from very basic, how do you set up an altar, that kind of thing. And we went through different stages. That led for me, after I did that, I was like, okay, oh my gosh, what's next? And I just kind of put it to the universe. And I've always been interested in Kemetic. That's always just been there. So it led to me going into a class to learn about Kemetic 101, which then turned into me being told that I was supposed to go through initiation into priesthood. And so that is where I began to get more into the more intricacies of what Kemetic sciences is and Kemetic spirituality is and so forth. So for me, and as a facilitator for Sacred Goddess Temple, it was really helping women to come into themselves, to be able to work out and work through some things in a safe space. And we were very structured because I like structure. I like to be able to, we had to do assignments and so forth, and then have a place to come and talk. So I'm not sure how Satra, how your take on it, but so coming into this is for me a continuation of where I came from through my initiation as Kemetic priestess, and revisiting some things in a different way, because I could say a lot. And 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 Sati, um, she's just great with her ability to bring information forward, and we always had great talks. So okay, let me stop. Go on. I don't know if I answered that because I can get long winded sometimes. So zoop zoop. Okay.
So, Rod, did you want to share? I know you're just starting this one, but how you see already your journey from Sacred Goddess Temple to here?
Yeah, I'm still learning a lot. Um, I mean, Sacred Goddess is pretty much what Abu said. And I was looking for healing, a space to be held accountable. I was very interested in learning Kemetic spirituality. I feel like I was always surrounded around it, but I was carrying fear, kind of what Priestess had touched on, trying to remove a lot of what I thought I knew and the labels and I had to get away from that to be open to come into Kemetic spirituality. I'm honestly just learning more of what my name means and how, Sacred Goddess affirmed what my mother has been calling me since I was little. And she used to firmly, her name is truth. Her name is truth, you know. And so once I learned, and I just recently made this connection, not even that long ago, even in Sacred Goddess, I learned how to fast, how to pray, how to Hesi, how to meditate. I learned the importance of breath work and womb work, journaling, and all of these things that led me to even doing the work that I'm doing now, which is poetry, spoken word artist, and now a teaching artist. But I was just following instructions, I guess you can say. Not even being clear or aware of why, it just felt aligned. And I knew I was aligned because I wasn't scared like I was previously in some other religious practices and things, So very grateful for Sacred Goddess and the connection and the alignment and my name. My name is Kalila. And my mother, from the time I was little, it means truth. It means truth. She would just say it so stern. And it was like, my God, it feels like such a big burden for a child to carry truth. And then walking into the goddess of Mayat, I'm a Libra, right? But I didn't know this. And then being named Sat-Ra, Sekhmet, everything just was aligning and it felt authentic, natural, and it felt like my purpose. So I get long-winded too, so I'm just going to shush now. But I hope that gave you something. Yeah, and I'm here. This is different because it's dealing with the soul, right? It's like, okay, who was I or who am I? And I think for me, one of the things I really, really want a deeper understanding is because I recently read something, Priestess, and I don't want to get too far into it now, but just who I am in the different dimensions, right? And I sometimes feel like I'm connected to those versions. It's really weird, and I can't put it into words yet, but I'm just really happy to be here and really study, but really embody. Like I embody Sacred Goddess, but it's like this chapter of my life is like, no, I'm ready to walk the walk fully, you know. I was recently part of a podcast with a group of women, and it was called Healing Everything Revealed. And I walked away because they weren't ready to walk in what they were saying. And I said, I can't be a part of this because, I'm ready to embrace truth, right? Like, and they were not ready for that. So I removed myself because I know in order to become two, you have to surround yourself around people who are in alignment and in the same walk sometimes. So, but anyway, yeah, so I'm here.
I have to unmute. Thank you for sharing. I don't know what I just did. Anyway. Oh, I know what I did. I don't know. I don't know what I did. Anyway, I'm still learning my Mac. Uh, but anyway, I would say haven't gone through Sacred Woman with Queen Afua and Kajara Nebahet, and I've had some great teachers. So when I did Sacred Woman, it's almost like, I think what Aamut was saying as well, it was almost like a stair step. I feel like I've been going through. The stair step was Sacred Woman with Queen, and worked as an ambassador with Dr. Akhu and Kajira, and so we did the whole thing, and then we evolved. What came through Dr. Akhu was Sacred Goddess Temple, and that was like a little bit of a graduation. It was just a new version of Sacred Woman, but it seemed like it felt more than just like a day. It became a group. It became sisterhood. So it went from an individual to kind of a sisterhood, but it was the learning. I always say even Sacred Goddess Temple is like for beginners. And I don't mean that in a disrespectful way. What I mean is it introduces you to things at a slow pace, and it's wrapped in healing. How do I heal myself? How do I take care of my family? I'm the nucleus, and I'm not talking about necessarily roles of masculine, feminine, because you kind of balance that out with your mate. But it's like, if I'm raising the children and I'm doing this and I'm doing that, how do I take care of me and how do I take care of the family? And that's what I got out of Sacred Goddess Temple. It was more of, here's your nucleus and here's how you do it. Because Dr. Akua, rather, she does a lot of classes in natural wellness, naturopathic, right, that kind of thing. So I went and took all her classes. I did all that. I mean, so it was a next level. It's like, yeah, you learn how to heal. You kind of go through your 12 weeks and then everybody goes away, right? So it's like you're kind of out there by yourself, but you're still hungry for something. And then Sacred Goddess Temple gave us more of that community kind of feeling. And you still grew, but you were still growing because you had all this information. Now what? And so Sacred Goddess Temple helped you implement it on a regular basis. And then what I've been given now is truly the next level. And I am overwhelmed because I might have been an IT person and I understand some stuff, but this is definitely, if you know me, this is definitely downloaded stuff. And I always say, when you make yourself available to the universe to be used, as we would say in Christianity, right? It's like, if I want to be used to embody my higher self, I think sometimes we get in our own self way because we think we know so much that spirit can't use us. Because it's like, you already know, I need you to be a vessel. I need you to be able to listen to what I'm telling you and do what I tell you. I don't need you to put your twist on it, because when you put your twist on it, it corrupts it. So it's like, when am I able to listen and hear? Something as simple as practicing awareness and listening and synchronicities have to do with even just following directions. How do I know how to log on to the system, right? If there's a video, did you watch the video? We do the same thing when our higher selves, our divine selves, higher consciousness, God, whatever you want to call it, the divine, when we're spoken to, we so busy we don't follow those instructions because we may not understand them. We may not, or we're going to do it our way anyway. Oh, they said that. I think that means this. No. When you're able to, we always want to be led. We always want spiritual gifts, but we have to check ourselves and say, am I really ready for that? Because you have to humble you. That's the humbleness. It's not being subservient to somebody else, but the humbleness is, can I put my ego in check long enough to be divine, long enough to understand the divine message, long enough to be led by my soul, my higher self. So,
and you would say that's like a core prerequisite for like priesthood, right? That's like one of the basic fundamental things, just to be able to receive, right, in all aspects.
And receive without judgment, receive with curiosity, receive with openness. You got to be that vessel, because we stop our growth by saying, oh, that's not for me. Oh, no, I wouldn't do that. Now, I was like, I had a dress made one time. They told me what to do. I did it. They told me where to go. And I was like, you're going to have me looking like a clown. Because from my background and that was very different. I'm not used to being that different, right? So I was like, I'm going to wear it. And when I wore it, it was very regal. But my initial cognition, my prefrontal cortex, my consciousness said, mm-mm. Subconscious said, oh, they're going to talk about you. They're going to look at you funny. So you show up in that, you're going to be the laughing stock. But we have to get rid of all of that and just be available. And that's why most of this is about patience, awareness, learning to feel the breath, learning to recognize the awareness of what it does to the body. Slow down enough so you can pay attention, because when those messages and synchronicities come, you're open enough to receive it. Because we're talked to 24/7. We just don't hear it. That's because we're busy with all the noise. But anyway, with that, if there's no other questions, again, I cannot say how grateful I am for each one of you. Just fills my heart, because as you do it, it helps me grow as well. Because you ask questions I don't ask sometimes, and maybe like, oh, that was a good question. I need to think about that myself. So we're here not by accident, not by coincidence. We're here because there's a divine purpose for us all, as a collective, I might add. So individually and as a collective. Yes.
So I was trying to, because you sent something out for the calendars. So I can't even when I try to purchase it and actually purchase it, it's not allowing me to. It keeps saying, and I've tried like 3 different cards, 3 different addresses. It just, when I go to put the address in, it says invalid.
Cool. You probably got a space in there. What you'll do is, you don't? You checked it?
Yeah, I took all the spaces to put everything close. I tried it, and it's always the address one that says invalid or non-valid.
You're talking about for the discount code?
No, so I tried the discount code. I couldn't even get to the point to try it. So I just tried to buy it outright. And I used credit card, my debit card, and my donation card. And it doesn't matter.
I was having issues with it in the beginning too, but eventually it did go through. I think I went through like 4 times, but
okay.
Right, because my books went through the first time. The books went right through, but I want to look at the calendar.
The calendar. And that's the first draft of the calendar.
It's so pretty.
Oh, dua. So it's
Mhm.
gonna have it, and I'm the plan is to grow into all of the different festivals so we as a community can celebrate our own holidays and all of that stuff. Uh, it just gonna take time, but we're gonna get there. And in next year's calendar, I have little prompts of some things you can do at home to celebrate it. Very small. Hey, it's the intention. Intention is huge. It's where your heart is. So it's not how much you do. I always say all this stuff that we do, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. And the reason I say that, it helps us focus on what we need, but our higher selves, that's free if we can connect to them. But we have to learn how to quiet the noise, how to focus. So some need tools, and there's nothing wrong with tools, but it's nothing you have to have. All right. So um tomorrow's not good because I have a naming. I didn't announce this. I did have to close off the application until new enrollment because people were beginning to apply again. I was like, but I can't start them off like where you all started. But I did allow one to come through because she is a Patreon member and she's been following. She's also following myself on Patreon and Facebook and other stuff. But I met her at the Shrine of my aunt, and she wants to be taught by or led or taught by a female or female energy to see what that's like. And so she'll be coming on board. So that's why I was saying tomorrow might not be good, Amen, but if you and I've got some family things going on. My stepson's in the hospital, and my brother-in-law is on hospice, maybe. We still don't know. We're trying to find out the details. So it's a lot going on with me as well. So I will, let's try first of next week, Amen. What I would suggest, I'll reach out or you reach out, and when it happens, then I'll walk you through it and see if we can't get that happen. But thank you, Satra, for sharing that it takes, for some reason, it's taken a couple of times to do before it takes. So try it again. So between now and early next week, you may have got it to work, but if not, we can get together and see if we can't make that happen. Okay? All right. Anything else?
Just one more question. I don't know if I should. When doing the breath work, if I have something going on with my heart, is it safe to continue with the breath work? Like,
Yes, yeah, because you're giving yourself oxygen as long as it's not like fire breaths. If it's not an aggressive breath, you're going to be fine. Some of the breaths, especially the breath for Ren, it's fine. And even if you can't, are you saying you have a certain sensation when you're doing the breath?
I'll email you.
Okay.
I'll email you.
Well,
Because I don't want to
oh, okay.
overshare.
And that's fine because
Person.
that's a private matter and that's fine.
Yeah,
Uh,
I'll email. I should have emailed you. Okay.
okay. And you might want to call me, maybe try to give me a call maybe
I
this
can wait.
weekend. You
Okay.
call me
Or
this,
next week is
try to call
fine
me
too.
this weekend or next week or whatever. Okay?
Okay. Okay.
All right, darling.
All righty.
All right, precious ones. Um, what I will say, we have to do the closing prayer. Let me share again. I gotta find it. Okay, there it is. All right, let's get in the receive posture. Dua nebahet dua wajet. Neterut ayat. Arit intin. Iaut in dua. Sunu tin sunu pin. Ma'a in Ibu in Akhu Iem Hauin. Shemim Hotep. Ankh Uja Seneb in Un Ma'a. Praise to Nebuhet. I gotta move this out of the way. Praise to Nebuhet, praise to Wajet, great goddess. We make for you offerings of praise. You have guarded this community. Ma'a is in our hearts. The Akhu are around us. We go forth in peace, life, prosperity, health. We exist in truth. I love each and every one of you, and may the divine in me bow to the divine in you. And you have a beautiful rest of your evening, and I will see you all soon. Shem Im Hotep, Ak Inba.